Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of the Ground for Glory podcast. Hey, y'all. I can't believe another week has come and gone, and we are back here in the closet meeting up once again. I think this is episode, I don't remember, 12, 13, one of those. I think it's episode 13. And if I'm being completely honest, which I am, I have been feeling kind of disconnected from the podcast. Usually I'm used to planning and having my show notes and having my coffee order ready. And to be honest, I have just been on the go. I've been so busy, and it's like the podcast will be the last thing that I think about. And then I hurry up and get it done for the week. And then we're doing it all over again. So this is me in the middle of consistency. This is me showing up regardless, even when it feels like I'm on autopilot, because it's something that I'm still so passionate about doing, and I don't want to give up on it. I have not put it out there yet, so maybe this will be the first time I say it, like for real. But I have something really, really special that I want to do after a year of consistent podcasting. And so that's what I'm working toward. Not just keeping my word to myself, but I want to reach a goal, and I want to be able to look back in a year and say, oh my gosh, I podcasted for a year. I don't know what will happen after that, but I know for now, that's what I'm working toward. So we're here once again. I'm showing up once again. And I'm so glad that you're here with me. I do have to say it is almost 10 o'clock at night. So no coffee, quote unquote, on the pod today. But I'm going to tell y'all about a drink I had earlier. So my new favorite spot here in Charlotte, North Carolina is Jeff's Bagel Run. Shout out to them. Their bagels are amazing. And they're only like $2.50. So that's awesome. I think they house make their cream cheese. And then they have like special flavors each week, and they have pretty decent coffee drinks. So today I got a hot banana bread latte, and it was good. I got my husband an iced banana bread latte, and he said it was good too. So if y'all are in the North Carolina area, if you're in Charlotte and you're interested in trying a new bagel spot, Jeff's Bagel Run is the place to be. I go there like multiple times a week. Yeah, that's my new spot. So, had that earlier. I do have a La Colombe in the fridge. Did I think about popping it open for this episode? Yes, I did. Is that wisdom? No, it's not. So, we're not going to do that. But speaking of wisdom, that is a perfect segue into the scripture verse that I had just like at the forefront of my mind for the podcast this week. So, I'm going to read it to you. We are in James chapter 1, verse 5 through 8, and I'm reading it in the NLT version. So, James chapter 1, verse 5 through 8, and it reads, "If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. But when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do." Sheesh. So, I'm just gonna, y'all know how I do. I'm gonna pull out the parts that stand out to me. So I read this, I feel like if it wasn't my pastor, it was a minister. I think it was my pastor though. But somebody at my church read this verse this past week, and they kept on preaching and I kept on reading this verse. And the parts that stand out to me the most are in verse 6, which says, "But when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. And then honestly, from verse 6 all the way down, such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. So, y'all know how God stays like clock and tea, right? That's what was happening to me when I was reading this verse, along with the minister or with my pastor when they were preaching, because I had just got through talking to God about how unstable I felt. Yeah, not me airing out my own laundry, but I had just finished talking to God about that, probably like that same week, where I was just like, God, I just feel so unstable. Like I need to get settled. I feel like I'm here and there and everywhere, and I was just telling him I need discipline, I need routine, I need more structure. And then this verse came, and I'm like, oh, so what you're saying is my faith is not in you alone, and my loyalty is divided, and I'm back and forth, back and forth. And so, yeah, we got to get that together. Verse 8 really is like the one that's clocking me. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. And I feel like sometimes as believers, I know I've felt like this, when you read the world in the Bible, you're like, oh, that's like, that's like sinners, and like we think super extreme, like the world isn't like sinners, people going to hell, stuff like that. But the world could just be it's just a carnal way of thinking, like just a fleshly, natural, carnal way of thinking too. And so sometimes our loyalty is divided between God and not like extremes. It's just the carnalities of the world, or even like whatever the opposite of faith is. So even having doubts, like even in letting fear creep in and like deter you from doing things or trusting in God or asking for wisdom. I know that's been my thing. Like in the mornings, I have not been on my P's and Q's when it comes to like just my routine. I got to get back to my routine of like quieting myself, spending time with God immediately before I do anything else. And I found that the more that I wake up and just scroll on my phone and intake all the negativity that's out there, then I start thinking that way. And I start becoming fearful and worrisome about things that, child, ain't even happening. You know what I mean? So I feel like that really spoke to me, because it's like, which one are you going to be loyal to? Are you going to be loyal to God in all of his infinite wisdom? Are you going to be loyal to the world systems and the world's way of thinking and the carnalities of this life? And God has really been challenging me on that. Like, he was just talking to me about that earlier, where I had to end up cutting something off, watching something on YouTube, which wasn't bad. It honestly was a good video, but it had me worrying about things that aren't even happening to me, to anyone I know. Not saying that we're, above those things, but God is like, that's not happening to you. That's not something that you need to be worried about, and it makes it harder to trust God when you're always intaking things of this world. Whether that's the news, whether that's, people's drama, like sometimes even that, because I'm not gonna lie, I like the me that I have to die to daily, love, like I'm here for the tea. I love like the drama. You know what I'm saying? I used to be kind of big on watching like Real Housewives and stuff like that, just because I think stuff like that is entertaining and funny. But God is like, no, like even being, taking that in all the time changes your way of thinking. And so he will encourage me, like, turn that off. You don't need to intake that. You don't need to read that. You don't need to concern yourself with that matter. Give it to me, let me handle it, and you go on about your way. So I encourage y'all to read James chapter 1, verses 5 through 8 this week. Meditate on that, as I will be meditating on it, Lord willing. Because like we can't be a person that wavers. We cannot be people with divided loyalty. And it says that we will be unsettled. So as we're constantly jumping back and forth between which side we're going to be on, or what opinion we're going to take, what mindset or perspective we're going to have, it causes you to just be unsettled, because you're never really like digging your feet down in the sand in one way of thinking or opinion. And so that's something I'm challenging myself on, to just, if I say I trust God, then I trust God. If I say I believe in God, then I believe in God. If I say that I put things in God's hands, then I put things in God's hands. So that's my encouragement to myself and to you this week, to just meditate on James chapter 1, verse 5 through 8, and ask yourself, like, what things am I unsettled in? What things am I feeling unstable in? And how can I shore up, my convictions in one area? Like, let me pick a side. Let's pick a stance. Like, am I going to worry or am I going to trust? Am I going to live in fear and doubt, or am I going to live in faith? And obviously we know it's always better to take God's way. Like, his way is the best way. Because he knows all and he sees all and he can actually help us. He's equipped to help us. Taking the other way out and figuring it out on our own oftentimes leaves us hurt, scared, abandoned, disappointed, sad, all the things. So yeah, let's lock in, twin. Okay, we locking in, and let's be on the Lord's side. If that's what we, decide is best for our lives, let's lock in, and let's focus in and hone in on his word and his promises and the truths that he says about us and about our situations. So I love y'all so much. I'm so grateful to whoever is still joining, whoever is still listening. Y'all know what to do. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, follow the show, send the show to your homies. Let them know that I'm here every week on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern. I pray that this episode was a blessing to you. Y'all keep me in your prayers as I lock in on the things that I was talking about today. Keep me uplifted, and I'll be sure to do the same thing for y'all. Thank you so much for joining me again for another episode of the Ground for Glory podcast. Keep your head up, and be stable in all your ways this week. Don't have your loyalty divided. God is good. I love y'all, and I will talk to you next week. Love y'all. Bye.